off of parachutes. So he said the first thing we saw was the star shells coming down. The second shell, you guys were firing right on top of us. And I said, I know it was us because I looked at the computer when we were firing, and it had a 600 knot climb rate in it, which is what you would use for an aircraft, which will really throw your guns off. Okay, it'll make them short of your target because you're shooting way up and coming down. And I said, I am so sorry. He goes, well, fine, let's go have a drink. I'll curse you out a few more times because I thought we were going to die that night.
Oh.
Wow.
So that's the bulk of the Vietnam trip. It's really going to be funnier going back, and I'll write some stuff up for you that too.
Okay.
We were kind of celebrating on the way back.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
Wow. Well, I think Max was there part of the time you were there, right?
Oh, were you?
As a Marine, right, in Vietnam. But the
One
year,
of the guys you're shooting at.
You weren't in the Walking Dead battalion, were you?
1st Battalion, 9th Marines. The
We were
Walking Dead.
shooting at the Walking Dead.
that's who he's with.
That's who.
Oh.
1st Battalion.
It might have been you then. Did we ever fire on top of you?
The Army did. I'm not sure whether the Navy did.
Okay, if it was the Navy, I'm so sorry.
What years were you there, Max?
68, 69.
Okay.
Okay.
13 months because the Marines stayed 13 months. Other guys were there 12.
Yeah.
The Navy usually stayed 9 to 12. We got cut short because our ship was falling apart.
He was 13.
So, Max, and where exactly were you? Because my brother was in the Marines, and he was up around Da Nang.
Yeah, I was north of Da Nang, up on northern, what they called the Northern I Corps, operated between Quang Tri and Khe Sanh, right
Yeah.
across, right below the DMZ. We stayed there
Yeah.
the whole.
Yeah,
That's about where we were.
Oh, yeah. Up the line, sure.
We're glad you're with us, Max.
Yeah. With you too.
yeah,
That's enough Vietnam stories.
yeah. So, Katie, what is it you're making?
What am I making? I'm
Yeah.
making jewelry, charm
Jewelry?
necklace.
Oh, I thought you were baking something.
Well, I
No.
was doing that too, but that's out the oven.
Oh, well, what was that?
In the oven,
Yeah.
pumpkin bread.
Oh, pumpkin bread.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. Jane, how's it going?
Going okay. I have, our family's coming in next weekend, so I won't be Zooming. We're going to have a celebration of life on Sunday.
Okay.
And I have a refrigerator and freezer full of food. I just had so many people dropping stuff
Oh,
off.
I bet.
And I'm going to see if I can show you some of the cards that I've gotten.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you see?
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, Jane.
I can't see it.
I
Yeah.
counted and I think there were about 130 cards that I've received.
Oh my gosh.
And I love each of them. Thank you to those of you who have sent me one. They're just beautiful. And I'm going to keep them up so my kids can look at them. They have wonderful messages. And so
That's great.
day by day.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to having the family all here next weekend. Just hope nobody gets sick this week or that'll just totally.
Yeah.
It will. It will.
They're all kind of quarantining this week. So. things. So.
Good.
Well, again, not to, I hate to keep talking about COVID, but it's been kind of a sad day for us. My business partner, her dad and mom had been fighting COVID. At first, they didn't know that they had it. Kept going back and forth to the hospital in Lafayette. They live in northern Indiana on a real big 3,000-acre farm. And but he got pneumonia, and then they finally had to put him in ICU, and they got the word today he's not going to make it.
Oh,
So, yeah.
How old, Tommy? How
80,
old?
he's 84.
mm.
Uh-huh.
But you know,
Guys,
one of those
we-
tough farmer
Good.
guys.
Good.
But you kind of wonder, having worked together in this consulting practice for 20 years, one time early on when we first started, I told her I want to go up and see what it's like up on the farm. And it's up in Cass County, Indiana, north central Indiana. And when she took me up there, 3,000 acres, that's very big.
Yeah.
Taking me, driving me around, and it felt like the entire county was their farm.
Mm.
And they
Wow.
were harvesting at the time corn and beans. And so I realized, so they let me get in the
Whatever that- yeah,
the
whatever that
harvester,
thing
whatever they
is.
call that thing, the combine. So they're very, each one of those, and they cost about $250,000, and they had probably 4 of them.
Wow.
And so they let me ride in one. In fact, I was riding in one with her dad, Tom. He was taking me and showing me all of how it worked and everything. And they're very high tech. But I realized, over all those years, all the stuff that he would have been breathing, and not just during the time when you are planting and putting down, spraying with chemicals of all kinds, but even when you're harvesting in the fall, all that dirt and dust, and it's unbelievable. And in fact, that particular day, at around lunchtime, I had parked my car and I had a moon roof. It wasn't a convertible, but it was a moon roof, and I left it open. It was hot. So I left it open, and we left and went up to their house. They drove separately up to their house to have lunch. And when we came back, they had pulled up the combine right next to the fence, and my car happened to be parked on the other side of the fence, right on the side of the road. And her dad, Tom, got back in it, and I swear that they did this on purpose. It was like, kind of like Dunk and Dave, So they're going to initiate the city slicker. So he starts up that combine, and it's kind of like then they blow out all the stuff before they start again. And it was like this combine taking a big dump right on top of my car. It took me 2 hours to clean that out. It was unreal. But anyway, but it made me wonder if, his lungs maybe have been weakened by all of that, all these years. So, but anyway, yeah. So that COVID thing,
Awful.
and it's really bad in Indiana, as Bob has mentioned, we're getting, but Indiana, the last I heard, Indiana was second. I think North Dakota is first in terms of the number of cases and deaths.
Second per capita, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our cases out here is a 29-year-old nurse with 2 small children
Oh, my God.
that may never make it out of the hospital. Was a word on her this morning. Really nice gal too. I mean, just a wonderful, wonderful caregiver. But she was with me on the other side. And the word on her this morning, I check on her every day. The word on her this morning is she may not make it home ever.
Oh.
5-year-old and a 3-year-old. 29 years old in good health.
Man.
So it is random for sure, guys.
Yeah.
Harvey, are you locked in? I heard you guys are locked into shut into your houses.
Yeah, the Bay Area, they moved it up a couple of days because the numbers are bad. So we are so-called lockdown, which means you're not supposed to even walk with friends. You walk with your own household, but not, like I usually walk on the weekends. I have a friend, Bill Resnick from Marion, Indiana, who lives kind of a couple towns over, and I like to walk with him on a Sunday, and they're discouraging even that kind of stuff. So restaurants that were allowed to do outside, well, they're inside for a while, outside, they're not even doing outside anymore. So, because our numbers have really gone kind of crazy too.
What about takeout? Are you allowed to do takeout?
Takeout, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to a takeout.
San Francisco, the Bay Area, San Francisco.
Right.
Does that include Pleasanton? My brother's Dick Alexander's in Pleasant.
I'll bet it is, because Pleasanton is that Contra Costa County. I think so.
That's
I think
good.
it is. I read it. Contra Costa's in it, yeah.
So, yeah, and anyway, they tightened it up. That's the governor basically did the whole state, and then different places were effective at different times, but basically the whole state's pretty much under supposed lockdown, and everybody probably defines it differently, but of course they're not. The stores are open though. I mean, you could still go to Nordstrom's or something. With, I think part of that's because of Christmas. At a certain 20% occupancy or whatever it is in the stores, which probably that's all they were getting anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, a little scary.
TP, could I ask Bob a question? Follow
Yeah,
up?
go. Yeah.
You talked about the vaccines that might be coming fairly soon to y'all. Is that for staff only, patients only, or both?
Us now,
Yes.
first responders and patients will be first in hospitals and nursing homes. And that will be, the first delivery is to be made in the state of Indiana by the 11th or 12th,
Wow.
which is what, Friday or Thursday or Friday?
Mhm.
Friday's the 11th.
All
For
right.
distribution and ready to insert by at least the following Monday, if not that Friday.
Wow, that's great.
Now, how far around they get, Tom, there's 3 different companies that are doing that.
Right.
And all the companies are ready to go. One of which is Pfizer, which is a fairly local manufacturing plant here in Indiana.
Is that the one that's 100 degrees below zero?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
Pfizer.
so much. That's Moderna, and that's the one that's 94 degrees
No,
below zero.
It's
It's
Pfizer.
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 That's a Pfizer, yeah. Then they may have 2 different vaccines.
I think in
That's the
the,
one that's the 3 weeks. You have to take another shot after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think
right.
all the shots are 2 weeks apart. I don't think there's a one dose vaccine that I know of.
No.
Yeah, so far that's the case. I think there are others coming later that might just be one shot.
Right.
So is everybody going to get it when they have the
You
opportunity?
bet.
I'll get it.
Bob after last week was
You're lined up.
for the booster to follow.
I
Mhm.
volunteered for a VA trial of the shot.
Oh,
So,
oh,
Yeah.
whenever it's available.
I think in the New York Times, it's pretty simple. I think you enter 3 pieces of information and it gives you a rough estimate of when you might get the
When you're coming. yeah,
opportunity
that's right.
to see. That's what those questions are?
One was age, one was whether you had a special situation like a nursing home and, or if you were a first responder, and I can't remember.
Autoimmune, that's-
Pre-existing conditions,
Yeah,
the pre-existing conditions is part of that too.
yeah. So it
My
gives you a good
husband and I
idea.
are thinking that we're going to get ours maybe even a month apart because of his pre-existing conditions. I don't know that, but I would not be surprised.
It gives you an idea how many in your state you would be behind, like in Wisconsin, we'd be behind about 500,000 people, given our age and circumstance.
Tom, I think, and Betsy, I think our first dosage on the original delivery, which may be Thursday, is like 50,000 units. I think.
All right.
That's not a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've got all the
Anybody-
freezers in place. I mean, they put all the things in place so they can receive the vaccines, and when they
Yeah.
get them, they can start right away.
Right, yeah.
They're good at it because they've been doing flu vaccine for years and years.
Yeah.
So it's pretty
Right.
straightforward once you get going, I've heard. I don't know.
Keep fingers crossed.
You know, I'm wondering about the 50,000 coming.
The what?
The 50,000 shots are coming. Will they give that to 50,000 people and then hope that the other second shot comes along, or will they do 25 and save 25 for their second shot?
Here they're
I
doing
think-
25
I
and
wish I could answer
25
it, Carol, but I
Vermont.
don't know. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where other places, maybe it's
I'm assuming
individually
some of
by
it will be
state.
done
That's what I
incrementally.
heard too, Judy, because why waste that first shot if they can't
Right.
get one? It was just.
Right.
Bob.
Bob?
Sorry to. Even though you had it.
Whoa,
Sandy,
who says that?
Sandy, do you have your phone? Do you have your phone on as well?
Yeah.
No. What happened is I finally got on my computer. And we're sitting close together.
What'd you say?
I don't know if this will sounds like an alien.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Vicky are close together?
Yeah, we were working off of mine and now she's gotten hers up and running.
Okay, and how close are you to each other?
I'm moving.
Okay. Yeah. If you could
She's
go to a
moving.
different room, it might work better. Yeah, because you're getting all that feedback.
We wondered what it was.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
John Porter.
Yeah,
Let me give him an update on Robin Bartolome. We were talking about her. a little
yeah,
Oh,
yes,
gosh.
yes, please do.
bit. I ran her down through an associate, a friend of mine, and her husband, John, has passed away down in Florida. Robin is in actually a Cardon nursing home, which is the same company that owns this one, over in Monroe, Ohio. And she will not come out of there, is the word that I had the other day. So she's there for life.
Oh,
Serious dementia, some health problems, and so on and so forth.
Now, why Ohio? Is that where her children are located?
She has family there, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
And Vicki, you may know more than I do, but I don't know how many children they had, she and John.
I don't know. I just guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too bad.
The Tom, this is a sequence of 19 nursing homes, and that's the only one in Ohio, it's over in Monroe.
Okay. Yes, I'm familiar with Cardon.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, are they based in Bloomington, Indiana?
They were based in Bloomington, Indiana, privately owned.
Yeah.
There are no shareholders other than a couple of accountants, and would you like, and a couple of maybe lawyers, and that's, other than that, it's all family.
Yeah, I've got a former partner of mine in back in the day in my firm is the CFO of Cardon.
Right. Yeah. A very well-run private company, Tom.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So now, Sandy, ask Bob your question again.
Okay, I'll try it again.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna do it again.
Where are you going, Vicki? I don't know. I'll go this way. Since you have had the COVID, will you still get a shot?
What I'll do, Sandy, when I go back to my room, which will be next Tuesday, we are on a weekly test. Now, I won't start again for 3 months, I don't think. I think I'm good for 3 months.
Okay.
After 90 days, I'll start up on a weekly test, actually a bi-weekly test. Staff is tested twice a week and patients are tested twice a week here.
Okay.
But there's a 3-month lag period, I think is what they call it, where you're not susceptible within
You're
90
protected,
days.
right, for 3 months.
Okay, whose dog is that? Probably mine.
no, but my dog is
Dog.
looking at the screen going, what the heck?
There's a dog in there.
Hey,
Dog in that iPad.
welcome to the iPad.
Vicky, if you aren't, talking, you can mute, and then when you talk, you unmute. You could mute.
I know,
it.
I'm in my office now, so, I know why they're barking, because Sandy's walking around. I'm I'm in my office now. Going back to Robin, she had two sons that were pretty close to my age kids. And
Oh.
Robin's mother had Alzheimer's as well. And I think that's what Robin has now. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Robin's younger sister, Vicky, actually jumped off the G Street Bridge and killed herself about 12 years ago. So they've had a bad time.
Bad art history.
Gosh, that's terrible.
Wasn't her sister into acting or modeling or something?
That was Diane, and she's living in Hilton Head. And
okay.
in her case, her daughter is in an institution because of drug use. So Robin has had to adopt her kids and is raising them.
Oh,
I mean, Diane is. And so they've just had a really bad time.
Oh,
Dang. That's
Vicky,
tough.
was one of her sons David Bartolomeo, or was that a brother?
That's a brother.
That's a younger
He was-
brother, yeah.
Yes, quite a bit younger than the three
And
girls.
he had some real situations too, didn't he?
Yes.
Wow. Okay,
We don't know how lucky we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's absolutely true. So Carol Fleming, you're sitting there, you're looking like a model.
yes.
Oh, I'm looking out at the sunshine.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, we got a little bit here. Hey,
Yeah.
They asked Harvey about what was happening in California. What about in your state? Has it been as tough?
Yeah, our numbers are up too, and they've closed everything down, kind of like at the very beginning.
Okay.
So we're just, oh, my phone's ringing. Sorry.
Don't answer.
He's
Well,
probably getting a modeling call.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I have, all you guys have great stories, and I've thought, what could I tell? And I'm not going to do it today.
Okay.
But I know some of the girls know this story, but I did spend some time in jail when I was in California.
Right.
And it's a pretty funny story.
Well, let's start.
Tell us.
I want to hear
Now
that.
we'll have a see. Okay. I was, this was probably in 70, maybe 1970. And I was living in Laguna Beach, California. And I was teaching in Anaheim. And so this was the day before Christmas vacation. And I'm going to driving my 60 Chevy Bel Air work, which it'd been kind of noisy lately. And so I'm driving out Laguna Canyon Highway, and I get stopped by a policeman. And so I pulled over, and he said, well, your muffler's really loud. And he looked at it. So he gave me a citation for a defective muffler. And I took it, and I read at the bottom, it said it had to be fixed by December 30th.
Jeez.
This was the last day before school was over for Christmas vacation, and I was flying back to Indiana. So I said, well, I'm not going to be here. I'm leaving tomorrow. He said, well, don't worry. They usually give you a few days grace. So I said, thank you, and I'll take care of it. And took off for Indiana, had a great Christmas vacation, came back, went to work. Came back, I think, actually a few days earlier, and went to work the next day, the first day of school. And after work, got my muffler fixed, and they had to sign the paper and sign it that they put a new muffler in. And then I mailed it to I don't know, who do you mail it to? The
Motor
Bureau of
vehicles.
Motor Vehicles.
Motor vehicles. I mailed it off. Well, a couple days later after that, I got a warrant for my arrest.
It wasn't funny.
So I
I had to set a court date, and the court was in Laguna Niguel. And I had to take a half day off school to go down to court. So I went to court. You want me to go on? What's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got us.
I went to court, and there's just a lot of people there for different reasons, and the judge is calling them all up in order. And so finally he gets to me and he said, Carol McMahon, and it was failure to fix my defective muffler. And I said, well, I had it fixed. I said, I had it fixed. And so he, going through the papers, he said, oh yes, I do see here you had it fixed. And he said, so the charge was failure to have it done on time. And so he said, do you want to tell me why? And I said, well, and I told him the whole story, when it happened and what the policeman said to me. And so he said, I'm sorry, but there are only 3 reasons I will accept. And it's if you're in the hospital, you've had a death in the family, or you're in jail. Those are the only 3 reasons that he would accept for me not getting fixed on time. And he knew that it was fixed. So he says, man, with the hammer and everything, 2 days for $25. Well, I was
2 days and 25
or $25.
Oh, okay.
And here I am,
Had her principles.
innocent little school teacher.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. I said, I'll take the 2 days. And I mean, you can see the courtroom go like that. And I think he was shocked.
The little one.
And he said, reduce it to 1 day. So he reduced it to 1 day. And I was so scared after I said it because I thought they were going to take me away in handcuffs. I didn't have lesson plans for the next day. And so, so they let you, they're called weekenders, and they're usually a lot of drug offenders that do that. So I got to pick the weekend. I got to go to jail. So I got to plan it, and I went on a Friday night and stayed till Saturday night. I don't know if anybody else has ever been in jail, but it's just no fun. And you do not want to go back.
And you're all in one room, all in one cell, or?
Yeah, I'll kind of tell a booking. First of all, my friends took me to jail, and I smoked at the time, so I had my cigarettes and a book and gun, candy, and I had everything that I would need to keep me busy. And of course, they take everything away from you.
Yeah.
I remember they took everything away from me to go through that door, and I still remember the sound of that door closing.
Yeah.
It's very solid.
Thunk.
The Green Mile, right?
The Green Mile.
Oh, thank God. It was not the Green Mile. Then I waited in a holding cell for about 4 hours. And I asked them if I could have a cigarette, and heavens, no. So I waited, and then they started the booking process about 11. And, they take your picture this way and that way. And I was
Carol McMahon in jail.
Yeah.
You got to get their muffler fixed. I'm telling Jamie.
They fingerprinted me, and then they took me in the separate room, and I had to take a shower, and they put the lights stuff all over the bed. Yeah, they do the checks for drugs. So I will tell you that I was checked thoroughly.
Wow.
Travis. So
And then they give you your outfit, which I had I think in Orange County, it was Orange County Jail, and I think
Yeah.
it's orange. I think it was.
Yeah, it was orange probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was
with little slippers.
50 years ago and
So, this is years ago.
really conservative.
So, and then they walked me to to where I was going to sleep, and we were in a big, I don't know, really don't remember. There must have been about 25 or 30 women in the
Wow.
with single cots in this one big cell. And they weren't all weekenders either, because there were some women in there that had been there they had a 6-month sentence. So they were there. And they were in for really bad stuff, like writing bad checks and things like that. I think that was the worst thing. So I got into the bed about 1 o'clock. I laid down, went to sleep. They wake you up like 4:30 in the morning, and you have to make your bed and sit on it until they come get you for breakfast. And so that's what they did. And then they walk us all down to breakfast, and you're in a line, and you go, you're walking, and they open the door and let you through, and then they shut it, and then you're in this other contained area, and you walk out of that, and it's very, very contained, and they're not nice to you.
Gail.
I wouldn't expect them to be.
Hang on.
Well, Carol's gone for a minute. Guys, Carol, keep going, but this is what guys experience when they first go into the military.
Oh, okay. It really, you don't want to do it. And I knew I was getting out in 24 hours. If I knew I had 2 years, it would have been awful.
Penetrating experience.
How was the food, Carol?
I really don't remember the food. I don't think it was, it was institutional food. I'm sure it was not good.
Carol, I gotta tell you, Max had to leave, and he said, but to tell you that he never knew that you'd pay that you'd rather give up the $25, but he could understand to have such a penetrating experience. That was probably
I wasn't paid really well as a new teacher, and I'd already spent $25 to get.
I was teaching one of those years too. I know. Believe me.
Have you been back to jail?
What?
Back to jail ever again? Yeah.
No. But I want to tell you a little bit more about the experience, because after breakfast, I thought I was going to get to, watch TV and read magazines and so we had to, they gave me I am so sorry. They gave me the job of.
All of a sudden, everybody.
The dogs are all talking to each other.
No, I know. I probably have a delivery. No, Jack.
Yeah, delivery announcement.
The delivery.
And we're good.
So
I gotta go.
So they had me wash a wall, and I washed the wall, and I went back and told the matron or whatever it was that I'd washed the wall, and she said, well, wash it again.
Oh, jeez.
I ended up washing that same wall several times.
Oh, wow.
And then my friend came to visit me, and she thought that we would sit out in a courtyard and have candy. And she brought me cookies and candy and they called me and told me I had a visitor. Here you go. You're talking on a phone with all this wire between you and the big thick glass. And I just remember the look on her face. I mean, she was like devastated talking to me like that. I brought you all this stuff, and she was going to pick me up later that night. So So,
You've been straight ever since. Wow.
Very,
We
very
know.
carefully sneaky.
No more bad mufflers, I guess.
I was really glad to get out.
You
She
buy
gets them
new-
fixed. She gets them fixed right away now.
Yeah.
Before
Carol,
they
you should
leave
write,
home,
you should
yes.
write a short story. You should write a short story and send it to Good Housekeeping or something. I
That's
think
right.
that's great, very interesting because most people don't have that experience.
Well,
Or something so egregious.
it is true. People ask what you're in for.
Yeah.
They do. You know, what
The bad muffler.
I did not say that. I was not.
No,
going
really,
to-
what are we in there for?
Did any of the ones that were kind of course, if you say the worst kind of offense was a bad check, I guess you weren't in there with really real tough people.
No.
So you were fortunate there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I have my youngest brother ended up in a 6-month stretch,
Uh-huh.
and he was in with some really bad people, and it was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't consider that when I said 2 days. I should have.
Yeah.
Also, Carol, the John Birch Society, pretty conservative. This was 50 years ago. So
In Orange County.
Orange County, they may have a strong influence on how they treated prisoners.
Prisoners.
Yeah. For bad mufflers.
Well,
Terrible offense.
How much did that muffler cost to have repaired?
I think I remember $35, but
That was a lot of money
Lot of
back then.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you add that to the 25 the judge wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to work an extra day or two.
Wow.
I was just a little, I don't know. I was just stubborn. I wasn't going to do it. And besides, boys like to have new experiences. So
No.
I don't have that on my bucket list.
You don't have that on the
Telling you.
resume.
Gone.
I don't have it on mine either.
Won't be on any of ours. Yeah.
Did you tell your students about this experience?
You know, I didn't, I don't think I did. I taught middle school, so my students were in and out, all day long. So I don't think I did, but I finally told my daughter and my family, my grandkids know even. And I finally told some of the girls here, but
So your grandkids could probably walk around and say, "Hey, you're not gonna believe this, but my grandma is an extra."
Grandma's a jailbird.
I wondered if it would,
Pen right there.
I wondered if it would hurt my ability to get a teacher job.
Yeah.
It does, they do a background check on you.
Mhm.
On my background check, it's listed, and it's listed as failure to appear.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Even worse. That's terrible.
it's not
Yeah, it is
erased
worse.
from your record by now?
No, it's still on, it was on there when I started, it's on my record for my school district.
Wow.
But at least it's a misdemeanor. It's not
Yeah.
a felony.
Right.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
That's why I could teach.
Yeah, felonies. You would not believe how people who have those,
Yeah.
what that does to you.
Yep.
Can't get a job. It's unbelievable.
Mhm.
So, well,
Listen,
one of
gotta
the,
go. Thank you. I'll see you maybe next week.
okay.
Take care,
Okay.
Karen.
Bye.
What I was hoping is next time, I love these stories, but though I think this has come up before, but Betsy, TK's better half,
Absolutely.
huge Beatle fan. And I think
Ah.
in one Beatle concert. Is that correct, Betsy?
Two.
Two? So I was wondering if one of the stories we could hear next time would be you telling us about these Beatle concerts.
Okay.
Is that
I
good?
always like to talk about the Beatles concerts.
That's not to forget the 45 or 47 other times that she's seen Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Well, that too. We want to know that.
No,
Yeah, okay.
4 was the most memorable.
Hey, Tom, on that subject, Tuesday will be the 40th anniversary of John Lennon's murder.
Oh, my God.
No kidding.
He would have been
Wow.
80 this year.
Wow.
And the 40th anniversary is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for you, of course, I don't know how many of you are really jazz people, but Dave Brubeck,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's tomorrow, would have been 100.
Wow.
Wow.
And Dave Brubeck,
Take 5.
really probably the one who really put jazz back on the map.
Mhm.
The album Take 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Although that people always associate that with Dave Brubeck, it's really the Dave Brubeck quartet or quintet or trio or something, but really is his saxophone player Paul Desmond's the one who wrote it. But anyway, well, hey, it's 4:20,
Okay.
so if you got them, smoke them.
Sorry, ladies.
Everybody have a safe week.
Tom, it's been a long
Guys,
time.
hey,
Bye, everybody.
Stay well, everybody.
bye-bye. Stay safe, everybody.
Take
So
care.
glad to see you, Bob Van Pelt.
Glad you're better, Bob.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care.
I'm sorry.
Okay, bye-bye. And Diane's maybe not there anymore, but Diane saved my butt. I still didn't hit the record button correctly, so we only got about half of it. I know.
Today?
I'll probably obsess about it for a day.
That's okay.
We forgive you. Maybe it'll be the people that don't get on the Zoom will say, hey, we got screwed. We only got half of that. Well, come on.
They probably will.
Get on
There you
Zoom.
go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, if you show up, you miss any of it.
yeah. And David Harold, we want you. You don't have anything else to do this week. You get that next segment ready.
It's almost done.
All right, good. Okay, that's good.
All right.
All right.
See you
All right,
guys.
guys.
Take care, Bob.
I'll just say, guys, thank you all.
Yeah, hopefully the Hoosiers are doing well.
I haven't seen the score yet, Tom.
Okay, neither have we. We're getting ready to turn it on.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
I wanted to mention to you, you mentioned about the farmer. I grew up on a farm and my father died of, at age 67 of lymphoma. And we always thought it was related to all of the sprays, the
Chemicals.
nasty chemicals he breathes, because he'd be on these sprayers. Of course, this
Yeah.
was in the 50s and 60s and DDT, whatever those terrible pesticides. It would spray right in his face as so anyway, that sounded familiar to me about how.
Yeah, you're never going to know. We're never going to know.
No.
I just couldn't get over it. Like his wife,
Just a minute, hon.
same age, and she's toughing it out and she's getting through it.
Yeah, she's getting
But
through
it really got
It
him.
just knocked him.
And they just could not get the pneumonia. It just couldn't do it. And I just, you got to think, okay, something happened that really weakened his lungs, and that's the first thing you would think about.
Right.
And
Anyway.
so, yeah, it's a sad day because Diane and I have, well, Jane Ann too. I mean,
Yeah, we've all known each other
we've
for
actually been in business together for 20 years, but I actually recruited her to my firm back in 1989. And then after about 6 years, she started working with me in the firm. And then when we started our practice, her kids were
Teeny.
3 and 7. And I would, every day I'd go over to her house.
Yeah.
And we would go together to take them to school or to daycare. And it would always crack me up because I would just kind of be quiet and she would be talking to her kids in the car and saying, okay, what are you going to do today? And let's see, what was one of the things she had said? Are you going to, I can't remember. I'll remember it for the next time. But anyway, she used to come up with all these things, and they rolled their eyes. So I just kind of like grew up with their kids. And of course, we don't have kids. And then got to know her parents real well and everything else. So we've been real close. It's like family.
Yeah.
Like a sister.
And you can't get, you can't get around them. And now the son, the one son now, he's up there because he was up there with grandma. He's got it. And the other nephew, his cousin, had been going to Butler and he had come home for Thanksgiving. Well, he's got it. So they immediately kicked him out of his house, told him to go over there with the other people who got COVID. And so I don't know. It's bad.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Well, how big was your farm? How big was that?
It was not that big. It was 200 or 300 acres, but he would rent farms all around. This was in New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yeah.
But, you know, with sweet corn and grains and your soybeans and combine, you know, he didn't have the big massive machinery they have more
Right.
recently.
Right.
Probably the coolest machine that I got to watch, both setting and picking at different, of course, different times of the year. It was the tomato. They also grow tomatoes, and they're a feeder farm for a company called Red Gold.
Mhm.
Red Gold is located near Fort Wayne, Indiana. And, you know, they make ketchup and all that kind of stuff, you know. Of course, they're big competitors, Heinz.
Yeah.
But anyway, that thing is unbelievable to watch it.
And yeah.
It almost looks like a Rube Goldberg
Yeah.
Oh, really?
contraption. It is so goofy looking thing, but boy, it knows how to knock out the bad tomatoes, you know, when they're picking.
Really?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So,
Well, my
yeah,
dad had tomatoes too for Campbell's Soup in Camden, New Jersey, but he had migrant farmers picking the tomatoes. So we
Yeah.
didn't
well, they
have-
do have migrants
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Hey, guys, excuse me, I had to run off. My living room's getting painted and they're just putting the furniture back where it was before. So anyhow, so I didn't get to say an official goodbye to anybody, but
Okay.
Well, then goodbye, and don't let those fumes get you now.
Yeah. Open the
I know
window.
I've got the door open, both
Okay.
ends of the house. So anyhow, so have a good weekend. Talk to you next week.
Okay, good, Felice.
Briefly,
Be
Okay.
safe.
Watch the recording for what you missed.
Yeah.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, you guys. Hey, TK, I'm glad to see that you're not getting your hair cut.
what is this about? I've been struggling just to get to my haircuts next Thursday. This coming.
Oh,
Thursday.
Get it, man.
What
I
is
got
that?
mine cut last week.
I don't want to go to
finally.
112 days anymore. You know.
Can't do that. I don't know. I'm not doing it until I get until I get that vaccine. When I get the
Vaccine,
vaccine,
okay.
I'll go have my hair cut.
All right.
No. I told Jane Ann that was the deal in the very beginning, that we're not doing anything till we get a vaccine.
Mhm.
So
Except I don't pay attention to him very well.
yeah.
Jane Ann.
She's still getting her hair cut. She's
Well,
still
I
getting her
just got it
pedicure.
cut.
Looks good.
And here I'm doing, you know, I'm being more careful than she is, because I don't want to catch hell if I bring it back and she
Yeah.
gets it from me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, we're being as careful as we can be, you know. We're not. We were thinking about driving down to Chicago, where a sister of mine and her husband and their adult daughter live all in the same building. We just lived on the same hallway, actually. Around the
Okay.
corner. But anyway, we're not going to go down there.
Just to hand off some Christmas gifts and stuff, and we don't think we should even do that.
no, I
Yeah.
don't. It's not, you know, we're that close now, you guys. Hang in there.
Yeah,
Hang
that's
up for just a little bit
hard.
more.
Yeah.
Just hang in there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you guys,
Have
it's
a good
great to
week.
see you. Oh,
All right.
one last thing, because this is kind of personal, but what do you hear from over in Munchen? What's going on over there?
Well, they're doing, I mean, their cases are back up now, so they've sort of closed down a little bit, but they pretty much had stayed with people will wear the masks and so on. But I think they're not able to do some of the things they were doing for a while. But they seem to be doing okay. Andrew he does go into the office, but not too many people do. So,
Wow.
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
They started a new business, a spinoff from Siemens.
he's been busy.
Yeah, so they just got on their local stock market there, or is that right?
In late September.
Late September. So they had to prepare a lot of official stuff for the board to approve, and so that's why it's been so.
But most of it has been remote, but to do some of the document work, it was helpful for him to go into an office where nobody else was, but he could get access to the equipment.
Get out of the house, get out of the apartment, actually. So
Yeah. Now you were saying, is he the accountant or is she?
He's in HR executive compensation, and she was in consulting with.
McKinsey, yeah.
She was with
McKinsey.
McKinsey, yeah.
McKinsey. She's no longer, she decided she'd had enough of that.
Too
Oh,
stressed.
yeah, yeah, it's
I don't think that'd take too long.
the,
to decide that.
Idea.
yeah, the business,
It's tough, yeah.
yeah, the business partner's son is up in Chicago with Bain.
Mm,
Bain,
Yeah,
McKinsey, and Boston Consulting are the
right,
three
right,
big-
mhm.
Yeah.
They work you to death, really.
Yeah. You know, so far, he's been now 3 years and he's absolutely loving
Well, some people do.
it. Yeah, he's loving it.
Andrew did have a conversation with his boss, Mark, who's German, recently, a few days ago, and said, well, Andrew, would you be interested in a temporary position in America? I thought, yeah, that sounds good. Maybe we'll get to see him.
You mean
once
part
in a
of Siemens Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was, no, I would never go to Orlando. I hate Florida. What?
So
But
he's not,
what
he's
about
not
us?
gonna
What
do
about-
that. He's not gonna. No
They won't let
way.
us into to Germany, so.
Yeah.
But
And
better
I-
days will come. We just
Yeah,
gotta be
better days. It'll be
patient,
better.
Take care of
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? We just get through this and then you're gonna, you'll have a good reason to go over there to Europe all the time.
And we'll come through in Indianapolis and come see you guys and.
Okay.
Well, just pick us up. We'll go with you, man.
Okay.
We love Europe. We really love Europe. So yeah, we
Yeah.
can, you got, yeah, come through Indianapolis. Well, I mean, we can get a direct flight from here to Paris.
That's a
Yeah.
good one, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Charles.
That's
Gone to,
Is it
Going-
Delta, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Delta, yeah.
That's the only airline we'll fly.
Right.
Us too, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, you guys have a great week. It's
Okay.
like- I'm so glad you guys are on every week.
Yes,
So it's good to see you. And
Thanks, TP, Jan.
Glad you got Betsy on, TK. Glad you got Betsy on with us.
yeah,
I'm just trying to get to figure out who all the people are, you know.
Who are these suspicious characters that you claim you? No,
that was a great story
Yeah.
she told.
Oh, that was cool.
And but didn't that I mean, that sounded just like what we went through when we first got drafted into the military. You're the
Yeah.
reception station, the way they're treated. The only thing was that we didn't was they didn't check us out the way they checked her out for
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
drugs,
And
yeah.
that would have been,
What she meant, but geez.
yeah, boy,
You might reconsider that if it happens again.
yeah, really.
That might have cured though from ever.
I can't believe anybody would get a ticket these days for a bad muffler, though.
Unless you're
Yeah.
black, unless you're black. You might get-
Yeah, very
Can
cool.
imagine.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. All right. Well, have a
All
nice.
right, see you guys.
Hey, we're gonna splurge tonight. We're going out to dinner at Steak and Shake.
Ah, we're ordering a pizza out. So.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah, we treat ourselves to
All right.
Steak and Shake once a month.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty, see you.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.